Alright, practice your intros.
Oh, I wasn't even.
Oh, it's recording.
Rider 2021. He's an hour late.
This is not
what you should be like as an exec. 1 hour late.
2,000 years later.
Hello, guys.
Welcome to ModSoc's QnA Session with the exec team.
We're gonna do an intro.
Everyone introduce themselves, starting from Cecilia.
Hello. I'm Cecilia. I'm the media director.
Hi, Cecilia.
Hi, I'm Joyce. I'm Vice President Events. Is that what the roles? Events coordinator.
Hi, I'm Ivy. I'm VP Internal.
Yay!
Hi, I'm Cara. I'm VP Creative and HR Director.
Yay!
Hi, I'm Jasmine and I'm dancing coordinator.
Okay.
Hi, I'm April. I am the visual director. Yay!
It's a visual design.
I'm the visual design director, apparently.
Yay!
I'm Kim. I'm the social media director.
Yay!
Hi, I'm Anthea, and I'm the president.
Hello, I'm Tim and I'm head admin. Hello, I'm Ryder, I'm the treasurer.
And Clarita is somewhere there.
Oh, yeah!
It's like Clarita.
And I am the PR. First question. Is your treasurer single? Asking for myself. Not myself, but yeah.
Whoever.
So?
Yes.
Very important. Major to CM. Who is the most unorganized in the team?
You came an hour ago.
Wait,
an hour late.
3, 2, 1. There's 10 points for Ryder. Who's the funniest? In 3, 2, 1, point. Okay. Jasmine. I vote Cara. Me too.
Thanks, guys.
Well,
I tried.
Can I join the society if I'm not good at dancing?
Yes.
I think
You will be good at dancing if you join.
That is true. As long as you have an interest.
if you're an exec in the society, you get the opportunity to do more stuff related to dance. If you just keep doing it, then you'll get better at it.
You'll eventually get better.
I think it's just that if you join a dance society, you'll be exposed to a lot of dance events. So if you don't enjoy it, then the role will be quite tiring for you. So yeah. How do you end up becoming an exec?
I think general road to becoming an exec is so you have an interest in dance and you end up joining a society and you get involved and so you're around a lot and you're interested in our events and you meet the people and then you just want to contribute or be involved more and be behind the scenes and give back or just be a part of it and you fill out the application and you do some training and yeah, just staying connected with the community and staying involved and also loving dance.
As the president, Anthea,
Yes,
how do you
ma'am.
manage the team, the ModSoc team? The ModSoc team.
Whenever something pops up into my mind, I just type into the chat, hey, help me. And then someone in the team that thinks they can do it will be like, hey, Anthea, I think I can help with that. And then they help me.
Yeah, if that relates to your role.
If no one is free, and then if no one puts their hand up, then I have to delegate tasks. I just reach out to someone specific in the team, and I'm just like, hey, can you do this for me? And they can't say no.
So what kind of skills would you say you needed to manage the team?
I think you need mental health.
A good mental.
A good mental. I think you need to manage your time really efficiently because you would be thinking about the society a lot, and there's a lot of little things in the society that worry you, and it's just about delegating those tasks efficiently without having to constantly think about the society and trying to micromanage everyone.
Is the workload of the
president manageable alongside university studies and personal life?
Well, I'm struggling, but I'm sure the next president, if they can manage their time properly, they'll be able to.
Great answer, Anthea, the president. What is it you enjoyed the most about being president of ModSoc?
I enjoy the people, the community. Working as a team is really nice, and also seeing people interested in your event is really rewarding. That's it. IB. What kind of person would be well suited for the role of VPI?
The type of person that would be well suited for it would be someone who's well-rounded, so and always willing to help. A little bit organized, because sometimes you are the president's other brain cell. Just one. Just one.
Just half one.
Are there any hard skills that you need?
I think communication, but I guess that's with everyone. But hard skill.
Like technical skills.
I don't need any of that.
Wait, I don't need to know.
So no, right?
Yeah, not really.
If you know how to work Google Docs, then
You know how you want, yeah.
tables in Google Docs, oh, lovely.
How has the managing direction of your internal team developed through your term?
At the start of the term, it was a bit harder just because everyone was relatively new, didn't really know each other, and we all didn't really know what we were doing. So it involved a lot of checking in on people, making sure people are on the right track. But as it progressed, we all got a handle of it, and so it was much easier to just let people be and do things.
Joyce, what valuable experience or knowledge did you receive from planning an event for the greater dance community?
So Party Mode was our biggest event, and it was actually really big for me because it is one of the biggest things I worked on. So it was pretty scary, and I've actually never been so organized or responsible for anything. It really taught me to be responsible for something. I think more than general lessons, it taught me personal things. Like being more organized, it taught me how to schedule things on Facebook. Yeah, more than that, I feel like it was just a really good experience, and I really enjoyed being so connected to the whole scene these past couple of months, and also really enjoyed seeing it all come together. It was like my baby, like making this big thing for people in the scene and friends. I almost feel like Party Mode was more for me than it was for the scene, because I feel like I really got a lot out of it. Yeah, and I learned a lot about Excel from Cara.
How does the team decide on what activities/events happen throughout the year?
We follow preset schedules of workshop and classes and then events in every SEM, and then every SEM we have a big event as well. So it's not something we need to decide on, and normally the pres does it. So it's when you're VPE, it's you just have to follow through. But also you can make new events if you want to. I do a lot of looking at previous year's events on Facebook and copy and pasting, self-learning and research.
What are some lessons that you have learnt this year to push your creative vision of ModSoc forward?
I think to be very active on social media and know what's trendy, or staying up to date on Facebook, on Instagram. We made a TikTok too, but just I think being not necessarily copy and post, but knowing what's popular so that you can try and promote your society more to the wider community and to new people as well.
Has there been instances where the creative direction of your directors clash?
Not really. I feel I probably talk to Kim the most, and sometimes I'm we should do this on that day, but it's nothing big. Talk about just basically what to schedule when, and sometimes it's different, but we end up talking about it almost every day. Yeah. Kim's oh, another text. All the recap videos and the designs from April and Cecilia are so good anyways. Never really have much to say.
Okay. Ryder, the single treasurer. How much does ARC influence the society's finances?
So ARC basically influences the society's finances through grants and funding. Events obviously cost money, so I guess in the event that you make a loss, you can use ARC's funding and grants to get some of the money that you've lost back again.
Has the handling of a society society's finances been tricky since there's workshops, classes, and events every term?
Yeah, I guess it's like a bit different to other societies where they have like a few events per term, but for ModSoc we have like multiple events per week. You just have to stay on top of all the events that are happening. It's like put time aside to.
Apparently there was a previous tradition where the incoming treasurer would buy the existing treasurer a drink of their choice. Do you intend to uphold the time-honored tradition set by your four
I was not aware of that tradition.
You didn't get Bobby.
I did not receive a drink, so I'll be messaging Bobby.
No, you have to give him a drink.
So you just uphold him.
You just uphold it for
Don't
the...
tell Bobby.
Yeah, don't tell Bobby.
Don't tell me.
Is there any valuable experience that was gained throughout your time?
Just like managing finances in general. Like I wasn't super into it like before I became treasurer. Using Excel, like I didn't use Excel that much either.
Next is Jasmine. Who are the teachers you are most excited to have for dance team? And why?
Our performance teachers are always really exciting. So we just had Upstage like a month ago, and getting teachers with like a lot of experience to come and actually just share what they know, and not just about their style but just about dance in general was really like insightful. So big shout outs to Ashley and Hadley for doing our Upstage training. For this term, Melody, Rosanna, MVP. Please do it. Oh yeah.
Did you learn anything from your home dance team?
You sort of have to learn a bit about the scene, especially like the people that are most active in it, since you are like the one coordinating and the one asking teachers and choreographers to come. You sort of have to expand your horizon in terms of who you know and the styles that they teach and the styles that they can offer to the society. And yeah, I like broaden my dance bubble, like, and my connections as well.
People who come into the society, they're not really aware how connected this society is to the street dancing.
Yeah.
So I think, like if you're gonna be dance team coordinator, you should be aware of what we have in Sydney.
Or like it's like an opportunity for you to like branch out and meet a lot of like teachers in the scene.
It's a really good bridge from like if you're just starting off.
And I think that's like the idea of dance team as well. It's like connecting like new dancers to the scene. How much time do you have to dedicate per week for your role?
Depends on like how organized you are. So usually like dance team, the only really like time commitment during the term is actually turning up to dance team, and like so it's every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 to 8. Usually HR will also help, so you don't have to go to every dance team, but it's nice. We sort of build a community, so it's good that people like see you there and like know who you are. Outside of that, it's just coordinating teachers and coordinating tracks. So it's more of like if there's something that needs to get done, just get it done as soon as possible. Like if you need to ask a teacher like really soon, it's easier to do that like early in the term, so you don't have to worry about it during the term.
We're back. The questions are back to Kara as HR. Why do you think it's important to have a strong connection between the society and the members?
The society is about the members. Because you can't have a society without members in it. Like, and I think everyone in the society or a member of the society is interested in dance. And I think that's how all of us like connect through dance. And that's why it's important to have members that are connected to the society. Sorry.
How can a newer society member be more involved if they're not that experienced?
Honestly, just turning up to events or classes, dance teams beginner friendly, so are all the classes, and that will get you more exposed to dance and also the people within our society. And also just turning up to our events, so like Seven to Smokes, just local uni events, you get to see people battle and see sort of what our community is about, and then through that you'll get more involved into the scene and be more motivated to dance more.
Tim, the head admin.
The single header.
Asking for someone keen to join as head admin. Ooh. Do I need to be well connected to the greater dance community to source teachers?
It's not necessary to know the greater dance scene, but it would be helpful because the teachers trust you. It would facilitate communication easier. Eventually, I feel like someone in the team would have connections to the wider dance scene. Like sometimes Anthea, if I don't know someone but she does, I would just ask her to ask the other person.
Also sort of relates to dancing about asking people. It's more of you shouldn't be afraid to go up to people because like people in the greater dance scene know of ModSoc and they know like the type of like uni society that you're like from, so they actually really like it when you just come up to them and you appreciate what they do, and yeah, just don't be afraid to ask people.
Some teachers even come to you asking to teach.
Do you have to communicate a lot with teachers, and who else might you communicate with?
Yes, you would have to communicate quite frequently with the teachers, but this would help the teachers know what they're doing when they're doing it, like especially since they're teaching every second week of the term. So you would have to remind them, it's not the first week, it's the second week, it's payments. You would have to discuss it with them, especially asking them for them to do performances, such as for Medium, which is coming soon. And also communicating, I usually communicate with them via Messenger, and whether they want to, if they can't make it for class, whether they're sick or they're going overseas, they would communicate with me and then we'll eventually find a replacement for them for the week. Also we have to communicate with the admins, which are in charge of like the different classes. So they collect payments and stuff, and collect signatures for talk attendance, and making the teachers sign receipts for paying the teachers. Yeah.
Clarita, what would be the main groups or organizations that you normally liaise with, and how do they contribute towards the society? Are there any other organizations you'd like to contact and secure a partnership with for this year?
Hi, I'm Clarita and I'm the Public Relations Director of ModSoc 2021. Usually we only have sponsors on large events such as Party Mode. This year we got several sponsors from streetwear shops and local dance schools and also Red Bull. So we're quite lucky to have them as our sponsors. But previous years we got Chobani as one of our consistent sponsors for Party Mode, but unfortunately they can't do this year's Party Mode, so it's alright, but we usually will find another replacement for available sponsors each year. How they contribute towards the society depends on what the sponsors were agreeing to give us. So monetary contributions are preferred, but it's very rare. So for example, Red Bull were giving us their cans. It will definitely reduce our beverage expenses and of course support the event overall because lower budget and all. But regardless, any kind of contribution will definitely support our event. Any other organizations that you like to contact and secure partnership with for this year would be ideal if we still work with the same sponsors as last year or last event, because we already know each other and it's fairly easier for us. It's fairly easier for them to accept our sponsorship proposals since they already know our event and how successful it is. For coming years, I would advise that the other PRs would reach out and seek out for new organizations because the more the merrier.
Let's go. What's a day in the life of a social media director like in terms of tasks on the various channels?
So you wake up in the morning and you have to make sure that you wake up quite early each morning, depending on how much, because on Facebook you can schedule posts. Every morning it takes around 15 to 40 minutes to post something. The longer ones would include drafting. So if it's an event that's just happened, like party mode if it was winners or something, you would have to take the time to draft, and then making sure that you're prepared beforehand by knowing the social media handles of the people as well, and then finding them, linking them, creating the post. It has to be done on your laptop. So if you're going out, you have to do it on your laptop. You have to bring your laptop with you. And then making an Insta story for it, so doing the design element of that. But it can be quite simple, so something like that. And then posting it up, and then sometimes there'll be a night post as well. So you can usually do that in the morning. You can prepare it for the night. And then before you go to sleep, you schedule tomorrow's one if you have the information for it. So the next morning you don't have to do that one. And also, you're going to be in contact a lot with the VPC. So I was in contact a lot with Kara, talking about what kind of promo needs to be done for future events. Events happening next week, events happening tomorrow. If there's any changes with things that aren't ready yet, you have to discuss that as well.
Are there any other ideas that you'd like to bring to life in regards to the social media of ModSoc?
I think so far it's going pretty well. I think there's a lot of content already, so there's not much breathing room for anything else to be added on at the moment. But just making sure that the posts are lively and interesting and different, so it's not repetitive for the viewers. Making sure that everything stays active. Working on the TikTok. Working on the new TikTok. Yeah, things like that.
April. Is it necessary to be studying an arts-related degree to be considered for this role?
No.
Okay.
All you need is the interest line.
Next question.
For the designs this year, what are the core elements of ModSoc that you wanted to incorporate?
So core elements basically orange and purple. So orange is basically harmony and purple is royalty. So ModSoc has a very royal thing to it. There's also the 3-tiered crown. It needs to be 3 tiers because it's dance team, events, and classes.
I think it's a lot of like what you want to do with like a company.
I think there's a lot of artistic freedom. Well, you also need to think about, because the wider dance scene will see your designs, and it is also meant to be targeted to uni students that are sort of starting to just dance or just getting interested. So you gotta have it very friendly, engaging, easy to read. That's it.
Thank you. In terms of equipment, would a new executive member be required to purchase their own? And what is the standard of knowledge needed to perform well in this role?
No, you don't need to purchase your own, but I think it would be a lot helpful if you did have your own equipment, like a camera or a tripod. Yeah, tripod's not as necessary because I rock it on vehicle like all the time. So your own camera would be useful just because you're editing the video, so it's less annoying. It's recommended that you have editing software because, like, if you want to make really nice, catchy videos, then I think you need that sort of software to do it. In terms of skill level, just like a basic knowledge of like how to make videos, how to cut videos, and how to put text or just like put a transition. Those are the like very basic things that you need to know, but when you're in the role, you get more practice doing it, and then you just improve on the skill throughout your term. That's from my personal experience.
I think also, like, even though with the equipment, you should, if you don't have it, have some sort of source of it, because like I think it was useful because like Joyce had a camera, Ivy had a camera, and Abe had a camera in our team. But if you don't have other people in your team which have that equipment, you need to find a way to have get that equipment.
Yeah.
So it just really depends.
So just reach out to Cecilia.
That's my camera.
Just reach out to Joy.
Also with like editing, I feel like you'll have a lot of resources like online. So if you're just like determined to learn, search up a quick tutorial and all.
I learned a lot from YouTube tutorials. You don't need it to be that experienced. You need to have a keen eye and sense for editing and just how videos work. Yeah.
Is there any valuable experience that was gained?
Yes. I think think I think it was very good for my degree. I do screen and sound production, so it gets you very familiar with the practical side of things. So like how to use the camera and like how to set up things. Also like how to edit software, which like sometimes you don't really get in your degree. It's mostly just they make you do something and then you have to learn it yourself to how to edit and like shoot stuff. Yeah, I think if you're interested in filmmaking or videography, this is a very good position to do. Yeah. You have a lot of things that you can put in.
What has been the project that you had the most fun working on for ModSoc? And what was the reason for it being the most fun? I would say I enjoyed your Kenny's video a lot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think I would say the party mode previews of like all the judges, those were really fun to make. It wasn't just like a typical like cinematic trailer thing. It was just like a fun like YouTube-esque video of the judges and them having fun. So yeah.
Questions?
How do you feel about managing expectations of the dance society?
Honestly, it's not that bad. Like, there is pressure, but I don't think it bothers me that much just because I have a team that is able to carry on like the expectations or like the needs of the society really well. So even though there is an expectation, you shouldn't limit yourself or like you shouldn't be pressured to try and do what everyone else wants, but more like what you want or like what you and your team want to do. I think no regrets. I think it was a great experience.
It is a great experience.
What is the goal of the society? ModSoc has always been a very friendly society. We're very inclusive of all dancers, so that includes like people that are used to like dancing in their bedroom and have no proper dance experience, or like we have people that have been dancing for like 10 years joining our society. The goal of ModSoc is just to bring dancers together and just do something that you enjoy. And I think we all kind of bond over our passion or like our interest for dance. It's just trying to connect all the dancers in the uni scene and also trying to bring them to like the wider Sydney scene, which is like there's so many talented dancers that are like here to support us, I think. So acting as a bridge between like the uni dance scene and the wider dance scene is kind of like the main focus of ModSoc. And that's like what dance scene, our classes and events try to do.
What was our motto again?
Dance connected.
I think a big part of ModSoc is building a community.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that you will encounter, like even in the dance scene, what keeps them going is like the friendship and the camaraderie that you get along the way. And a lot of people just start off with an interest in dance, but they end up staying because they make really good friends out of it.
We get made fun of so much for dancing in front of Tyree, but I think people just come because they're very curious to try what dance is like what does it feel like to dance in front of Tyree and stuff. But the friends you meet is actually really worth the time you put in as well. MVP of ModSoc in 3, 2, 1.
One or two sentences, can everyone briefly explain what their roles are and what they do? So to basically manage all videography and photography aspects of the societies. If you're at an event, you take photos, videos, stuff like that, and then you make videos for the society as well to put on our social media. Like sometimes, occasionally, maybe collaborating with the visual design director.
My job is everything to do with events, so from the promotion to on the day to after it as well, and at booking things, running the Facebook page, managing the documents on like Google Drive, reaching out to people, just making sure everything runs smoothly for events.
I'm pretty much the president's right hand man, helping with anything they need help with. I also keep all the paperwork for the society, communicating with the internal teams of dance team, HR.
I am essentially responsible for directing and organizing the promo video, overseeing the creative team, so visual director, media director, and social media director, coordinating like the digital marketing strategy. HR and grievance officer, I'm responsible for reaching out to volunteers for big events such as Party Mode and Medium. I need to turn up to dance team and like just get to meet new members, so turning up to dance team events, classes, etc. And then grievance officer is just handling any grievances both internally or externally towards our society.
I really coordinate anything related to dance team, so contacting and communicating with teachers and choreographers at the time, as well as contacting any performance organizers, so if it's related to concert performances or other Uni Society events when they have performances, coordinating with that, and making sure that the dance teams are timed properly for these performances, and I'll be responsible with coordinating practice with the choreographers as well as the members.
I do banners and merch.
Cool. And any promotional
Things.
release.
Basically all the visuals that you see on our social media. I'm the social media director, so I'm responsible for uploading and managing all of the social media content on Facebook, Instagram, etc. Yeah, it's important for me to stay updated with all of our classes, events, internal and external events, and communicate that to our audience and increase the retention rate. I look over the society, I delegate tasks to all exec members, and I also plan out the events for the year, my set dates, and literally everything, but also
Everything but not.
yeah. So essentially you're just involved in all aspects of the society.
What I do is I book art studios for classes, and also contacting teachers for teaching at some either Tyree or Art Dance Studio, getting people to admit for classes, and then I train them to collect payments, collect signatures, and that's it.
I manage the financial side of the society. Some of my duties are to keep records of transactions, manage the society bank accounts, so paying teachers, filling out grants, and to get funding from art.
Rita will describe her role now. I think something for all roles is that you want to be present at events and also meeting the new members of the society, because I'm sure the members of the society would want to meet you too. If you're interested in joining to become part of the exec team, please fill out the form and we will have trainings, which means that you'll be trained under one of our current execs, and you will learn how the society runs or what is expected of the role. If you have any questions, feel free to message